Green Terror. A lot of people wonder why the name, and I have explained it to, I believe, at least one or two people. But Green Terror was, and in my heart will always be, a band. This guy right here. If anybody kept things going, it was Mike. Start to finish. Mike and I were in a band that was doing nothing but cover tunes for a short time. And we both got kind of, well, we quit that one because it wasn't going in any direction we wanted to go in. And very much missed by the drummer, Pat Nadge, and I. Often discussed awesome person to work with. Absolutely, positively, no ego involved whatsoever. And this guy could play at a very young age. Can only imagine how good he would have been had he not met an untimely death. I'm just going to say it was an accident with a gun, and no real criminal intent was involved. Mike gave me this when he realized, and or when I told him that I liked Godzilla, and he said, "Really? Me too." And one day when I was there to pick him up for rehearsal, he came out of his house with this and said, "Here, why don't you take that?" I can only imagine he'd probably like a lot of this stuff I got now. There's some old things we used to give to people. Maybe right in the back of them. Actually, I think these were supposed to be stickers, but the stickum has long since dried up. They're old. And move Godzilla out of the way here. We have from left to right, we have Greg, who's not showing his face. Pat, who's hidden behind the cymbals. Jeremy, guitar player. Greg was the bass player. Pat was the drummer. Jeremy was one of the guitar players. That is me with my back turned to the camera, looking at Mike, of course, on guitar. And run through a few photos I have. Start with this one. We did a benefit after he died. I was actually at the hospital as I got a phone call from his mom telling me what happened. Let's see, maybe I'll just read this real quick. For about 300 Cortland High School students, Wednesday night was a time to pay tribute to a friend. A benefit concert sponsored by the Student Council and Student Senate was held Wednesday in the honor of Michael Hobart, who died last week after being shot in the head with a .22 caliber rifle. Approximately 300 students and adults attended the 4-hour concert, which featured 4 bands, including the one Hobart played in. The money raised at the benefit will go to the purchase of a headstone for the 16-year-old's grave and Hobart's mother, Carleen Wilcox. Hobart, 16 of 4.5 South Ave, was a 9th grader at the high school and attended Project Search classes for 2 years. He was shot November 11th as he was visiting a friend on the west end of the city, police said. Shooting investigation is in the hands of Cortland County District Attorney's Office and may be turned over to grand jury. District Attorney Richard Shea and said earlier this week Wilcox attended the benefit and was presented with a plaque in her son's honor. A replica plaque will be placed in the Project Search room at the high school, Principal Chris Tansky said. Playing at the concert was Stale Fish, Green Terror, Hobart's former band, the Screaming Mimes, that would have been my brother's band at the time, Antidote. Hobart was musically talented teen who played guitar and wrote musical lyrics, his teachers and mother said. He's probably visiting with Randy Rhoads, his idol, at this moment, his mother said. Rhoads, of course, this is in the newspaper, and what do they really know about everything? Which is not a lot. We all know who Randy played for. The turnout at the concert and Hobart's services last Friday surprised his mother. I was so surprised he had so many friends. I'm not surprised. He had more friends than he thought he had, Wilcox said. Green Terror, which was the last band to play, oh, we got the headline, dedicated a song to Hobart, his mother said. The teenager wrote the words to the song Route 666, and the band dedicated it to him, Wilcox said. We'll be playing that later on in this video. It was a tribute to Mike, Wilcox said this morning. Wilcox, they printed her name enough, I'll tell you. Said she talks to her son and he had a message for the students attending the concert. His mom was really, he was the only child, so she was extremely distraught. The message which Tansky read to the students stated that the shooting was an accident. Wilcox said, I very much imagine it was. He said there was good reason for this accident to take place. Wilcox said he wanted people to be drawn together. I could think of better ways than that. But Wilcox said she hopes that what happened to her son will teach children to stop playing with guns. Well, children shouldn't be playing with guns anyways. Guns should be locked up when the parents aren't around or when they have friends over. Guns are for gun ranges. I hope no one else has to go through something like this, she said. The concert ended on an emotional note with all 4 bands on stage singing Bob Dylan's song Knocking on Heaven's Door. Which actually wasn't the one that I wanted to do. There was another one which slips my mind at the moment, one that Mike would have rather have heard. And of course, a picture of me, very blurry because I never stood still for very long on stage. And we're going to run through a few pictures. Let's see. One of me, of course, yet again with my eyes closed. Halfway decent shot of Greg profile. The band consisted of someone who liked punk, someone who was into metal, speed metal, rock, all kinds of crap. Jeremy, he was into kind of the grunge scene that was starting, and just music in general. And then Pat, of course, was kind of like me, dabbled in a little bit of everything. This picture here was taken after Mike's death. Another shot of me and Greg. And the old custom PA system we had. We used to bring our own stuff with us. Most of the time. This is at the benefit. When Mike passed away, Jeremy had to kind of step up just a tad. And was actually holding his own quite well. He played, I think, 1 or 2 more shows after this, and then we had planned on going to the studio and had just about saved the money when everything bad happened, and then everybody lost, well, Jeremy and Greg lost interest, I think, because Mike was gone. He really, he had a large effect on the band, more than I think he knew. A little bit more. Jeremy going at it. Yeah, we're all missing you, Mike. A shot of the drum kit. Pat still has that. It's got tons and tons of stickers on it now. Like I said, I never played guitar very well, and I was learning from Mike. For some reason, he was able to teach me. Everybody else I tried to learn from, I couldn't learn shit. But Mike, I don't know what it was. Just had that kind of demeanor, I guess. And I was actually starting to learn a little bit, or starting to play a little bit more, but I didn't have my teacher with us anymore, so I was starting to try to integrate myself into the band a little bit more, but not, definitely wasn't ready at this point in time to go on stage with it, that's for sure. But we were rehearsing with me playing. Another shot. Almost got a full shot of Greg's face in there. And me with my eyes shut again. Are they shut? Well, kind of. There we go. There's another one. One of Jeremy. I don't have a lot of pictures of Pat. At this point, I sent him a message. Maybe he'll be able to send me a couple. Because I want to get this video done by the time it's the 13th, because Michael Hobart was born on 11/5/74. He passed on 11/13/1990. Very, very bad day. And we'll be picking the video up with some music.
Alright, now we're all fully introduced. This next song is a song about what happens to you if you drink too much and you go driving, because you all end up on Route 666 because you end up in hell. Let's hear it, guys.